was ready to rock and roll there. Okay, we'll delete the old one after the race. Go ahead and start it. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to week number 7 of the MEA GT Championship Series. I'm SSR Mayhem to bring you tonight's action here at Hockenheim. And in a very short while, we'll begin the racing action as we have a good one for you to hear. A lot of Lamborghinis. Lamborghinis haven't really been a bunch of a performance. GG Racing has been heavily pulling them in and picking up some wins, but here at Hockenheim seems to be the Lambos this week, as last week it was the 4 GTs. So I got a good one here tonight. It's about 4, it could be anywhere from 4 to 6 different drivers to possibly take the reins here tonight. So we're looking forward to the racing action as we get ready to go here. We've got some of the drivers already ready to go, getting the last few of them in, getting things ready to set. So just stay tuned. And welcome to week number 7 of the GT Championship Series. I'm SSR Mayhem to bring you tonight's live action. Once again, we are getting the drivers in. We'll get the racing orders set up. So once we get confirmation that all the drivers are here, and once we get the race grid underway, we'll be ready to go for race action here tonight. And so we're going to get the lobby order set here to go. Few of the drivers will not make it tonight, but the majority of the field has appeared, so we'll get them lined up. Starting on the pole position here tonight in the number 11 machine is LSEM Zombie. Starting off second will be Buku, as we got to find him here. There he is. Starting the third position here tonight will be SSR Bobberts, looking for his first victory at any event or any officiated event of the MEA organization. So he's been very good in all the series that have been running, but has yet to really pull off the win. And starting the fourth position will be FTR Serby. So Serby starting off in the fourth position here tonight. SSR Nicole starting in the fifth position, as she's shown that she's had flashes of this season. And starting in the sixth position will be HCR Daytona. One to watch for here tonight is HCR Daytona, showing that the Porsche RSR is just as competitive as these Lambos here at Hockenheim. Starting in the seventh position, is GG Racing, who currently we are waiting on. He is coming, so we'll be waiting for GG Racing, as he's down there in the comment section as well, so he's letting us know. So GG starting in the 7th position. Starting in the 8th position is SSR Godly Drift. SSR Godly Drift in the M3 along with Serby, as they are the only M3 drivers here tonight. Starting in the 9th position is not with us here tonight. That'd be HCCR Colonel, switching over teams the last couple of weeks, so he won't be here with us tonight. Starting in the 9th position then will be SSR Wolfpack and the Nismo GTR, last week almost picking up the upset at Spa as GG Racing him went side-by-side action for the final 3 laps of that race. So see if Wolfpack can bring that GTR to victory lane here tonight. It's going to be a tough one for him. Starting in the 10th position will be PPS Lucky, as SSR Sloth Reflex and SSR Nick T are not with us here tonight. So PPS Lucky's starting off in the 10th position here tonight. And the 11th position will be LSCM Codependent in the Bentley. So LSCM Codependent there tonight. Actually, I'm sorry, that would be the 11th or the 12th position, I'm sorry. Starting in the 13th position will be SSR FNG number 96. Kamikaze not with us here tonight. So Kamikaze will not be able to make tonight's race. Actually, Pro Drawer would be the next one in line. So Pro Drawer after FNG starting in the 13th position. I apologize, guys. I'll get these things rolling properly. And SSR Kamikaze being out, that puts Lucas McNeese up to the 14th position of starting. And not qualifying this week, SSR Red Raider. Wasn't sure if he's going to make any of the racing action here tonight, but is here. He'll start in the 15th position. So very shortly we will be racing here at Hockenheim. So 3 drivers who couldn't make it tonight. So the majority of the field and also one extra driver starting with us. So we will be going green flag racing here momentarily. And as the grid has been set, we should be good to go as all the drivers are now in. 15 drivers, 27 laps. Could we see a new race winner here in week number 7 of the Hockenheim? FTR Serbia and GG Racing from UMS. They have been dominating the series and have split the winning columns of 3 races apiece. So we'll see if we get a new driver to win tonight. LSCM Zombie showing that he has the pace. So once we get confirmation, we will be good to go, and I think we are ready to go here at Hockenheim. So once I get confirmation, GG, if you're still in the comment section, let me know. He's actually one of the drivers in that pack, and actually, here we go. I actually got a message from one of the marshals. We are good to go. So we are about to go racing here at Hockenheim, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're just tuning in, this is week 7 of the MEA GT Championship Series. I'm SSR Mayhem to bring you tonight's action here at Hockenheim. 27 laps, 15 drivers. 2 drivers who have dominated this series so far, UMSGG Racing and FTR Serbia. One starts 5th, one starts 7th. That would be Serbia in the 4th position, GG in the 7th position. LZM Zombie looking to win his first race here in the MEA GT Championship Series. And here we go. 27 laps, no mandatory pit stops. That's up to the drivers if they want to pit or not, or have to. So we'll find out. Only 3 drivers not make it tonight's race, and 1 driver who missed qualifying who is in tonight's race. So 15 drivers. And green flag, here we go, racing at Hockenheim. LCM Zombie, your leader, coming off turn number 1. Buku in the 2nd position. 3rd is SSR Bombers. 4th is SSR Nicole. In the 5th position will be HCR Daytona as they round off the first 2 turns here at Hockenheim. We'll bring up the race map to see if anybody struggles early on this race. Bombers to the inside of Buku. Zombie going way out wide. There's an incident. It looks like LCM Zombie with some early issues. I'm not positive. I'm looking for him. Oh, I'm sorry. That wasn't Zombie. Looks like GG Racing with an early incident. And GG Racing. Something happened as he went way off the track. Doesn't look like got any damage. Not officially sure as he actually has a glitch there. So we'll have to find out within this lap. So we'll go further up the pack and see what's going on up there. As GG way off the pace early on. So right now, as we take off the racing map, we have a battle here for the first position between Buku, Zombie, and in the 4th position is FTR Serbia. So FTR Serbia now up into the 4th position is where he started, but didn't get a very good start to begin this race. Gotta wonder if he can make it up to the field right now. Got decent qualifying, took the M3, knew the challenge for tonight's race. Well, we'll see if Surrey could pull off, which would be a rather upset here at Hockenheim, knowing that these Lambos could go to distance, knowing that if you didn't pick the Lambo, cars like the Corvette, the BMW, might have to make a pit stop. This is Forza clean, so if you see the drivers overextending just a little bit, that's why. So right now, the race lead, but Survey is now into the mix. So a 4-car battle, we'll find out here, and we'll pull up the race map and see if Gigi had a pit. I don't think he did, so must have just been a little racing incident. So here we go, the battle for second between SSR Bobbers and Buku. And oh, we got an accident! Bobbers! Buku! Zombie! So a little bit of action there. Got a little bit bad braking there, so Bobbers connects into Zombie, which gave up the race lead to Buku, I do believe. And now Buku in the first position, serving the second position, so early action. A little bit of colliding there between two different drivers. Doesn't look like it did too much damage to Zombie and Bobbers with the worst end of things so far to start this race. Godly Drift up to the 6th position now, so Godly Drift making some moves as he passes up Wolfpack. Nicole in the 5th position right now. We know how she saves tires, so keep an eye on her tonight. Now Bobbers on the back bumper of LCM Zombie. The battle for third is on. FTR Survey still tracking down Buku for the lead. Right now the battle is here in third. GG Racing, who was down all the way back to the back of the pack, started in 7th, went back to 15th, now up to 12th, so he has regained some of where he lost. Survey currently with the fastest lap on the track with a 140.2. And Bobbers still working on Zombie, but SSR Nicole is slowly catching up into that pack. We'll go further back and see what's going on back there for the 6th position, as it looks like Godly Drift is trying to hold off somebody, and that is SSR Wolfpack. So right now the battle for 6th is on, and HCR Daytona is creeping up as he passes he passes up Wolfpack for the 7th position. Godly Drift right there in the mix. HCR Daytona all over him. And ooh, looks like they connected just a little bit off the X there. LCM Codependent up to the 9th position right now. Codependent in the Bentley. Daytona looks down low off of exit. Nothing there. Lucas McMee now drops back to the 15th position as Lucky ends up overtaking him. And HCR Daytona, who's one of the cars to watch for. I'm looking at this guy, and I just think there's a good possibility we see him up to the front battling. Right now, he's got to work as Godly Drift right in front of him. We'll go check out the race leaders. And we're on Survey right now, so FTR Survey up to the 2nd position. Survey putting all kinds of pressure on Buku. So right now, it just seems like pretty much the battle's still in 3rd. Survey still looking. He gets the Buku, but that Lambo with the speed off of X, it's just really hard to keep up. And if you're down there in the comment section, you're watching the race here on Mixer or on YouTube, don't be afraid to put something down in the comment section. I'm lonely commentating here tonight. My other commentators just weren't able to make it. A couple of them are actually in the race right now, so you know, just interact. Let me know you're there. Talk to me. Keep up to date. Let me know how the race is going. So right now, GG Racing has made his way all the way up to about 10th, and he is. So we'll go check on Gigi, as Gigi with a really rough start, bad turn 1, and now he's caught up to about 9th, 8th, 7th, and 6th place. ACR Daytona moving up 1 position after getting around. It looks like Godly Drift, so he now goes into the 6th spot. SSR FNG 96 back there in 11th. Pro Jord back there in 12th. And it looks like FTR Survey, now the race leader. So FTR Survey, after a few laps being behind Buku, is now in the front and leading here at Hockenheim. And we've heard all week that the BMW, the M3 specifically, will have to pit here somewhere along the line. So you got to think maybe he gets a nice run, stays up front long enough. Who knows how long he can keep that car on the track, or will he try to go to distance? We'll find out. As far as we're concerned, the Lambos, at least in practice, I've been told by SSR Bobbers, LSM Zombie, and Buku that these cars can make it not only on fuel, but on tire wear, but it's cutting it very close to the end of the race on tire wear. These tires are so close just to make it to the end, but they have not tested them in traffic, in the race. So that could be a difference factor of being forced to pit later in this race. Gigi, who had a really rough start, way back, he's one of the Lamborghinis. In this race, like last week, we talked about the 4GT. The 4GT was a monster last week at Spa. It was the first four places on the track. This week it's the Lambo, so you gotta look. But right now, Survey is making it look really good with the M3, and he rode the M3 last week, finishing in the top 5, finishing 5th last week. So could he bounce back this week here at Hockenheim? Now, like we said before, if he can get a big enough lead, has to pit, it could benefit him. But the question is, will these Lambos pit? If the Lambos have to pit, it's all good for that M3. We'll pull up the race map. We'll see where everyone is on the track. Lucas McMee's the last place car in the field, so you kind of see where the leaders are and where he's at. We pull up some race statistics here. SSR Bobbers with the 140 flat, currently the fastest car on the track, or at least labeled as so. Is TX3 Topher down there with me? So Bobbert's still all over Zombie. Nothing really changing there. Nicole back there in the 5th position. GG Racing now up to 9th. Keeping our eyes on him, as points really do matter in this series. Oh, Gigi off the track into the sand there. Gigi having some struggles early in this race. Wonder how much it's going to cost him. Go check on our 6th place driver, HCR Daytona, who passed Godly Drift a few laps ago. There's currently one driver in this field that I know can make it on fuel, and that would be SSR Wolfpack. And he's currently in the 8th position back there in the Nismo GTR. Last week showed that that car can go to distance at Spa. It more likely can make it here tonight, but depending on how much time he loses from the leaders, not sure where he'll end up. And once again, we don't know where some of these cars might last. I mean, these Lambos, all week that I have seen and with other drivers saying, they can make it the distance, but once again, as I reflect on these races, or on those cars, they have only been able to do that by themselves on the track. They have not been able to go to distance. We don't even know if they can go distance in the race. Most, hot lapping, practice is completely different from the race. So if those cars can make it on tire wear, it's going to be really, 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 really close, because they're already cutting it close in just open practice. So right now, Survey still leading this race, and Survey with the fortunate break of a little incident between Bobberts and Zombie around the first couple laps of the race. Bobberts got into Zombie down the hairpin about lap 2 or 3, which gave Buku the lead. Survey got through. About a couple laps ago, Survey took over the lead from Buku, and Survey's actually getting away from the field as we speak. And the big story right now in this race, can these Lambos make it on tires? Because they already cut it close, but only in open field. And can Survey manage enough time on the track to where when he has to pit, because we are told by good sources that the M3 will have to pit somewhere in this race. Now, unless Survey or Godly Drift have found something where these cars can make it on fuel, or on, I should say on tires, that is yet to be seen. But those are the two big stories right now, and not only that, but we have to keep our eyes on Wolfpack, because we know that car can make it the whole way on tires and fuel. So those three factors can be very interesting in this race. Now, Buku, sitting in the second position, is starting to lose some time on Survey. But further behind him, not too far behind him, I should say, Zombie and Bobberts, who got into an early incident. And it looks like Bobberts has the faster of both cars, but he's been pretty much staying behind Zombie most of this race. Now, SSR Nicole, another driver to watch, has been able to show us that she can save tires in every race this season, other than back around, I think, week 3 at Road America, where she ran out of fuel. But she's another one to watch. She hasn't gotten any incidents that we've seen yet. Bobbert's losing a little bit of time there on Zombie. We pull up the race map. And all 15 drivers still in the race. Looks like we may have a battle brewing in the back of the pack, so we'll go check out what's going on there. Look like Red Raider and Lucky, who, as I see, they are still together, and Lucas McMeans. We'll get a little shot of Lucas as he's out there running. His number 13 DBR9, the only DBR9 on the track. Wolfpack starting to lose ground on Godly Drift. Godly Drift, one of 2 M3s, as you see right here. Looks like Daytona, though, is starting to creep up on Nicole. So we'll go see what he's doing in the Porsche RSR. So it looks like we might have a battle between HCR Daytona and SSR Nicole within the next few laps. There's a little history between these two, back between weeks 1 and 2, especially back at Sebring. These guys were going at it. Nicole, she was battling Daytona. He was battling her. It was back and forth action, and right now, you know, they haven't really seen each other a whole lot. They've seen each other in Road America. I mean, these two have been battling all season long. It's kind of like a little rivalry between these two. You know, we talked to both of them. They both have good, good friendships. Talk really good about one another, but on the racetrack, they're just always near one another. And right now, they're starting to close in a gap that could possibly lead to some battling. Once again, we haven't really seen them battle one another for a couple weeks now, but they've been the most interesting duo when it comes to racing on the track, because they race each other just so hard. I mean, it's ridiculous. But HDR Daytona with the fastest lap right now, the 139. So Daytona showing he's got a lot of speed in that Porsche RSR, but looked like he got into a little earlier incident, which is why he's so far back. So we'll see what he can do. We'll go back up and check up the lead pack, see where Zombie at. Zombie and Bobberts still drifting from one another. So right now, these two starting to pull from one another. GG Race is still back in the 9th position. And we have a battle for the 13th position between Pro Drawer and I believe that's SSR Raider. And we do. So right now, the battle for 13th is on. We'll stay on here and see what goes on. Pro Drawer in the McLaren. And I'm sorry, there's 3 M3s on the track. I forgot Red Raider, who didn't qualify, had to start in last. He moved up 2 positions, so went from 15th to 13th. Currently in a battle with Pro Drawer. TPS Lucky, not too far on him. Ooh, looks like Pro Drawer clipped the apex, which got him a little bit loose. So, Red Raider now drifting away from Pro Drawer. we'll see if ProJor can catch back up to these guys. Right now, not a whole lot on the track. We'll ride along with GG Racing for a little bit. The new photography manager in MEA, actually. So glad to have him aboard, get some shots of the races for us. Right now, he's currently in the battling of the point standings with FTR Survey. GG missing back at, I believe it was back in week 4 or 5. I can't exactly remember, but it was back at Suzuka. He wasn't able to make that race. He only got positions for qualifying, or points for qualifying. So he's trying to make up after last week's win. Not the best start for GG, but definitely a race that he needs to do well in to keep himself relatively up there to at least have a chance to battle for the title. So GG Racing sitting at 9th. We'll go back and check out Cody Pennant as the field's still pretty much spread out. Cody Pennant in the Bentley, number 95 machine. Got the old LCM Team Sky paint back where they run. Cody Pennant in the 10th position. We'll go further back. Let's go see what Red Raiders doing. See if they tightened up a little bit. Doesn't look like it. So we'll go check on Lucky in the 12th position. I haven't seen Lucky a whole lot yet. Lucky, the only one in the Audi R8. And right now he's tracking down SSR F&G 96, who took the Corvette. I believe it's a C7R, and it is. It looks like SSR F&G going on really wide there. And it looks like PPS Lucky is getting ready to challenge F&G for the 11th position. We pull up the race map. We'll bring up the race statistically. Now the race leader should still be FTR Survey, and it is. Daytona still at the fastest time of 1:39.999. Bobbers with the quickest speed on the track so far. And Lucky, who's starting to track down and Lucky not getting the best X there. So we'll see what happens as this race unfolds with those guys. Go back up, see how the race leaders are doing. FTR Survey and Buku. And Buku's looks like he's starting to close the gap a little bit again. We'll see how telemetry-wise, Survey with the 30% on most of his tires. Tire wear is key. We'll see what Buku's looks like. And Buku has a little bit worse tire wear. So all the Lambos right now pretty much the same. Nicole has a little bit less tire wear on the car right now. And game glitch with Daytona. So the top 6 or the top 5 was able to see other than Daytona back there. So oh, and Buku clipping the corner a little bit off, threw him a little bit wide. We've watched him practice that you hit the corner, the first turn the wrong way, it kind of lifts you up and throws you wide. Looks like that's what just happened there, and Buku looks like he lost quite a bit of time. And Golly Drift? No, not Golly Drift, but yeah, it is Golly Drift. It looks like Wolfpack has now caught up to the rear bumper of SSR Golly Drift, so looks like GG Racing now appearing in the screen. And the lap down car, Lucas McMee, is not sure if he took a pit stop or not, but is in front of these guys. So right now we're on the battle for 7th. There's Gigi now creeping up on these two as well. So we may have a 3-car battle here. And Golly Drift going a little bit too wide, clipping the sand. Oh, and Golly Drift gets loose! Whew. And there's the battle for 7th. Wolfpack to the inside of Golly Drift, side by side. Looking to undercut, nothing there. So Wolfpack now takes over the 7th position from Golly Drift. And GG Racing now on the back bumper of Golly Drift. Well, not yet, but is closing in on Golly Drift. So, oh, Golly Drift to the inside of Wolfpack now. The battle is not over yet. Wolfpack, Golly Drift side by side. GG to the back of them both as they race into the right-hander up here. They're going in hot. Side by side, Wolfpack takes over, but look at the move by Golly Drift to the inside! And GG trying to follow! What a move by Golly Drift right there. That was a very impressive move, and it was a risky one. He just hit the brakes, turned to the left, got underneath, took over the position. These two guys have been battling really well here in lap number 14. GG now reappearing, and the lap down car, Lucas McMee, is right in front of them as well. As we pull up the racing map here and the race statistical map, and you see where FTR Survey is. And GG looking to go around Wolfpack side by side, entering turn number 1. And GG and Golly Drift getting loose again. And if you're just tuning in, this is week 7 of the MEA GT Championship Series. I'm SSR Mayhem, bringing you tonight's live action here at Hockenheim. 15 of 27 laps are down. FTR Survey currently the race leader. GG looking to try to fight his way back up after an early incident, as a couple other drivers also have. And Wolfpack and Golly Drift, who just recently had an intense battle, dropping 2 positions back after gaining 1. And Golly Drift going a little bit wide of the hairpin now. GG challenging Golly Drift for the 7th position. And if you're also just tuning in, I got my chat box down at the right hand corner, so if you'd like to chat it up, let me know how you like the race so far, what you're thinking. Who do you think might win tonight? Let me know down in the comments section, as right now, the race leader FTR Survey ahead of everybody else. And Buku in 2nd place. And yet, we have yet to see the first pit stop of the race. So everybody might be trying to race to the end. This could be really interesting. Could it be a fuel mileage race? Probably not. But the tire wear of this race is what everybody's been talking about all week long. We only have 1 driver a lap down, and that would be Lucas McMee's. PPS Lucky has moved up a few positions, so he got around FNG. Not sure if those guys have taken a pit stop yet. At least to our knowledge, we don't know who has taken a pit stop just yet. And you see on that screen how they got that lift off of the first corner right there as it just barely touched the apex. It just lifts up their car, throws them a little bit wide. But GG to the inside of Golly Drift! And Jolly going back underneath GG now, side by side, as they enter the long straightaway. Well, the curved straightaway, as I like to call it here at Hockenheim. Wolfpack watching from beyond these two. And GG looking to the inside again. Golly trying to hold him off, just didn't have the room. GG going in too hot, goes way wide. Golly back to the inside. GG trying to battle for the 7th position. And there's the race map. HDR Daytona, still the fastest car. Putting laps down. SSR Bobberts and SSR Cole now getting closer, and Cole has closed the gap on Bobberts and Zombie. We'll go check them out. So right there, 3, 4, and 5. With 10 laps to go. Bobbert's still keeping it close with the Zombie right now. I'm going to back out of the lobby real quick. It looks like Forza glitched on me a little bit, so I'm going to see if this might fix that. Normally it happens with pit stops, so just a brief second here. And the loading screen's up, so just give it a minute. It's great how this game works. Well, I guess I made a really dumb decision on doing that, so if it doesn't fit stuff, I'm gonna... Second, guys. So let us get back into the lobby. I just trying to fix something and it didn't let me. So hopefully that fixes itself. Back. So if we get back in there and all over trying to fix a thing. So once again, if you're just tuning in, this is week 7 of the MEA GT Championship Series. I actually just got kicked out of the race lobby because Forza and maybe my connection didn't get along. So just give us a minute. We'll get in there. Get back into the race lobby and we'll see what's going on. Just waiting for everything to load in. So apologize to all you guys that are watching. I was trying to fix something. So here we go. We're gonna get back in there and we're gonna watch some racing once again. I apologize for the little malfunction I just had here, but nonetheless, we're getting back in. We're gonna get back to the race, see if anything changed. And then they're on lap 18 of 7 to 27, so we didn't really miss much. In a couple minutes we were gone. So once I get loaded back in, we'll be good to go. And here we go. So we're back into the race. Once again, I apologize to everybody that's either on YouTube or currently here with me on Mixer. Just trying to fix a glitch, and the game kind of crapped on me there. So here we go. We'll get back to the race action as FTR Survey was the race leader before we ended up leaving off there. So we'll see if anybody made some pit stops or anything like that, as they are now on lap 19 or 20. So as we enter back into the race picture, the race leader should be FTR Survey, and it is. So Survey's still out front, so once they cross the finish line, the positions will fix themselves. Survey about 50% tire. Survey should be good, actually. It looks like he'll make it to the end of the race on tire wear, so this could be a big story, as we've all said that the M3 shouldn't make it on tires. But if that is true, what we have just seen, then this could be a good race to finish for Survey. Now Survey's gap with Buku hasn't really changed a whole lot. And once again, once they cross the finish line, these positions will fix themselves. Survey's still the race leader. But it looks like Pro Drawer has gone a lap down. So there it is. The positions are now fixing themselves. So Survey looks good to go to distance on fuel and tires as of right now. As we pull up the race map, looks like Bobberts fell off the face of the earth a little bit there. And GG Racing back in 9th, so something happened to him and Godly, it looks like, because Wolfpack got in front of them. And I apologize once again that we missed that moment. So GG and Godly still duking it out for 8th and 9th. As Wolfpack apparently took advantage of a race incident as GG and Godly drift side by side after the hairpin. And it looks like GG won that battle, so GG now moving up to the 8th position past Godly Drifts, and now he's got to track down Wolfpack. Just wasn't a good race tonight for GG Racing with about 5 laps to go. And something lagged. It looked like it might have been on my end. It was on my end, so hopefully we're not about to be kicked out of the lobby. But we'll go check up front. As SSR Bobbert's trying to get around the lap down Pro Drawer in the 14th position. As SSR Nicole now is caught up. And right now, tire wear for SSR Bobberts does not look good. Nicole, a little better. Zombies looking a little better. Buku is okay. So Bobberts, those few Lamborghinis right now, struggling. FTR Survey trying to go to distance with the M3. Can he pull this off? And Buku now putting the pressure on Survey. And if you're just tuning in, this is week 7 of the MEA GT Championship Series with about 4 laps to go. FTR Survey currently your race leader. Buku in the second position. Zombie, Bobberts, and Nicole 3, 4, and 5. And HCR Daytona 6th. In a 15-car field, we believe everybody about 13th and back is about a lap down. So I believe Red Raiders last car on the lead the lap right now. Survey cutting it close on fuel, checking on his tire wear. It looks like he'll be good to the end. So for Survey, it's a fuel mileage race. For the Lambos, like Buku, it's a tire wear race. So we're gonna see, can Survey pull this off? This is one of the biggest upsets of the season if this M3 can manage to keep out front with the Lambos, because the Lambos have been just so dominant here this week, not only in qualifying but in practice. And Buku right now seems to be the only Lambo on the track that is capable of challenging Survey, and Survey just trying to finish with a few laps left here. And it looks like he'll just be able to do it. So fuel mileage for Survey and all the other M3s. And with the Lambos, it's just tire wear. All the other cars, we have no idea what they can do. We've seen a few of the drivers make pit stops earlier in this race. But right now, the real question is up front between the tire wear battle and the fuel mileage battle between Survey and Buku. And this has been a battle pretty much follow the leader type of battle, as Buku's just been trying to keep up with Survey after Survey passed him for the lead around, I believe it was like around 6 or 7 laps in. So Buku just trying to keep pace. Some of the strategies I heard throughout the week between like Zombie, Buku, and those guys was just to try to be in a line, try not to waste too much tire wear, not really try to battle each other. But Buku fell off the pace a little bit back there. We'll go check how Buku's doing. And with 2 laps to go, FTR Survey with a nice lead. And the tire wear starting to kick in for Buku now. So Buku starting to lose a little bit of tire wear. The question is how everybody else is going to do. And Survey just trying to run away with this now. Buku trying to be the 3rd different driver to win in the series this season. Started midway through. Has been very, very, very competitive since he's joined the series. Can he pull this off? So Survey with 2 more laps to go. Fuel for him is cutting it really, really, really close. So Survey's going to try to finish the race on fuel. And Bobbert's now setting the fastest lap on the track. Oh, well, he actually had, I'm sorry. I still thought Daytona had the fastest lap on the track. 2 laps left. Survey is going to cut it so close on fuel. Can he hang in there? If you're a Survey fan, comment down in the comment section. Let us know you're there. You guys who are cheering on Buku right now, let him know. Let us know down in the comment section. Who do you have winning with a lap to go? Lap and a half to go. Here we go. FTR Survey getting ready for that long curve straightaway. Buku all over the back bumper. 5% fuel for FTR Survey. Can he make it on fuel? Buku running really close to the tires. 80% tire where he should be okay, but here we go. Survey to the inside, Buku to the outside, side by side into the hairpin. Lucas McMee's the lap down car. Buku to the inside of FTR Survey. Nothing there. Survey defending position right now as they about make their way with 1 more lap to go. Fuel is no issue for the Lambo. Survey trying to conserve. Survey is going to try and make it on fuel. Pitting is not an option here. If he would have pitted, it would have been earlier in the race. And it's going to be a close battle here. FTR Survey, Buku, 1 and 2. The rest of the pack trying to keep up somewhere. Buku to the inside! Underneath FTR Survey for the lead! Survey now has to try to make it on fuel. Can he try to challenge Buku? Here we go, the final lap of the race. The white flag is in the air. Buku, who just took the lead 2 turns ago. Lucas McMee's in pit road. FTR Survey is running on fumes, on fuel. He's only got 2% fuel. Can FTR Survey make it on fuel? This could be a crazy ending. Can the tires hold up for Buku? Buku, the race leader, looking to pick up his first victory of the season. FTR Survey slowing way down on the track, conserving fuel. Survey down to 1% fuel. Zombie is now dramatically caught up to FTR Survey. The Survey just trying to make it to the end on fuel. And Survey's still in the picture, so he's not out of gas yet. And coming off the final 2 turns, week number 7 here at Hockenheim, Buku will pick up the victory. And FTR Survey trying to hang on with just fuel. Can he beat Zombie to the finish line? He's out of fuel. Zombie gets underneath of Survey trying to put the block on. Survey just barely making it on fuel. Zombie will take over the 2nd position. Back in the 4th position will be SSR Nicole. SSR Bobbert's finishing in the 5th position as his tires were flaming red hot. HDR Daytona finishing in the 6th position. Respectively, SSR Wolfpack finishing in the 7th position. 8th will be UMS GG Racing. SSR Golly Drift somehow managed to make his way on fuel as he's now at the end. LCM Cody Pennant ran consistently. LCM Cody Pennant into the grass. PPS Lucky and set 11th. So as these drivers finish out the rest of the race, we'll pull in the drivers for race interviews. So the end of the race came down to a couple of different drivers, and we'll now bring them in for post-race interviews. So right now we're just trying to get all the drivers in. And once we get all the drivers in, we'll get underway to the interviews of this race. What a wild finish for some of these drivers here at Hockenheim. So just stay tuned and we'll pull everyone else in. I believe that's all the drivers I'm going to need. So as these guys finish up their racing here at Hockenheim, we'll get going. And I'm going to get that on. So as I turn the party on, we'll get these drivers on in here. And we got them in. And I got to start with the guy finishing 5th, which would be SSR Bobber. So you guys go ahead and put your party audio on as we speak. So I know SSR Nicole's not going to come in here. She's not feeling very well to begin with anyways. So finishing in the 4th position would be SSR Nicole. Bobberts, I was going to start with you. Early on this race, you know, you had an early incident with a zombie back there. It was just what happened back there, and then later on the race, Nicole passing you up looked like tire wear started taking effect.
Yeah, I felt bad when I hit Nick. I was just trying to see where my braking point was because I was right behind Brandon, and I completely missed it. And obviously trying to avoid Brandon, thinking I wasn't going to hit him, so just go straight in between them. But unfortunately, I hit Nick, and I felt really bad. Kind of screwed up his race, really. May have cost him. I know, obviously, he got 2nd, but you know, he could have won the race potentially. Being, but full credit to the pair of them for taking advantage of Servi's tyres going off at the end. And well, I just let Nicole through. I mean, we made an agreement that if my tyres would go off anyway, I said that I would let her through because she'd have had a better chance come towards the end. I don't know if she was happy with. She was weaving quite a lot because I think she wanted FNG to move out of the way, which he wasn't doing for her. But you know, I guess 5th place is okay. It's not the result I wanted, but you just look forward to next week.
And once again, make sure you guys' party audio is on. Bobberts, I know yours is on. But yeah, Bobberts, it wasn't the result you thought you were going to have this week. You had one of the top 2 cars. You had the fastest lap down in this race, but with the early incident that happened, I'm sure that held you back quite a bit, and it's just not where you wanted to be. But regardless of top 5 finish, you got to be happy with that no matter what at the end.
I'd be lying if I said yes.
Well, regardless, congratulations on top 5 finish, Bobberts, and maybe next week you can bounce on back. So congratulations to you. Once again, SSR Nicole finishing the 4th position. Pretty much ran 5th most of the race. Got by SSR Bobberts there at the end, near the end of the race, to finish the 4th position. So congratulations to her. LCM Zombie, definitely not what you expected. Early incident with Bobberts, fell back a little ways, had to fight your way back up to at least the top 3. Just take us through your race, just how you were able to manage to kind of come back a little bit after an early incident like that.
Alright, so like, getting close to the mic. So I calculated this shit all day yesterday. I had this shit down to a T. My plan was I was gonna get him first. Brandon was gonna stay 2nd and defend. We had a little incident. It doesn't bother me though. We didn't get damage. We didn't lose major positions. Just Servi went by. I was expecting Servi to go by. I just wasn't expecting him to go non-stop. I expected him to pit. But all in all, I predicted that Brandon was going to win this because he had better tire saving than I did. And he was on the same pace as I was. I was actually quite impressed he was keeping up with Servi. And I don't know what happened towards the end. I think Servi let me by because it looked like he lifted off on the throttle. But I think I should have gotten 3rd, but still, I'm happy with my result, and the incident with Bobberts didn't really bother me.
I'm sorry, actually, I do remember that you actually pulled off right there at the end in 2nd. But yeah, nonetheless, you know, the Lambos were strong here. The question was, could you guys manage with tire wear? It seemed like most of you guys did, besides Bobberts at the end there. So
it was very difficult.
Congratulations. Oh, it looked like, you know, that last-second pass on Servi. He tried to throw the last-second block as he actually ran out of gas on the last turn.
He ran out
of race,
of gas.
So it was pretty close there at the end, but nonetheless, congratulations to you, Zombie, on a top 2. And as next week comes, I'm sure you're going to try to bounce back and try to pick up a win that you thought you could have picked up here today. So congratulations. Servi, I got to get with you. And last week you actually had your audio off, so just make sure that's on. But FTR Servi, little incident between 2 guys early in the race, got you right through there. You passed Buku about, I believe it was like lap 6, 7, maybe 8. You led the whole race, you know, and you really surprisingly you lasted without pitting. You know, we all thought you the M3s were going to pit, and actually, I believe the only M3 that pitted on the track was SSR Red Raider. Godly Drift also managed to make it to the end on fuel. The question for you wasn't tire wear, it was fuel mileage at the end of the race. And, you know, you gave up the lead. It looked like you were just saying, you know what, I'm going to give up the lead, try to finish with the fuel that was left because you knew you were down on fuel. And as you finished on the last turn there, you tried to throw a block on Zombie as you ran out of fuel. But, you know, that must have been really wild for you at the end and maybe a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, I got kind of lucky at the beginning with that incident. I wasn't expecting to get into second place on lap 1, but, you know, I'll take it. I actually was planning on pitting until I started lap 14 and I saw that I had 51% fuel. So I thought maybe I had a chance of getting through the whole thing, but I guess I didn't really calculate how tire wear affects fuel consumption as well, and I didn't
That's a thing.
include lap 27 in my calculations. So when I started lap 27, I had like, I think 2% fuel. So it's like, there's no way I'm going to get this. So I let Buku by, hoping I could just use this draft, and I was just gonna lift on some of the straights, but it was going down way too quick, and I managed to at least make it last until the last turn, and I ran out. I hit 0 right after the last turn, which is when Zombie passed me. I'm glad I didn't pit though, because I was looking at the map and I saw like all those people behind me who also hadn't pitted, so like if I pit I lose to them, so that's what made me stay out. So, I mean, I'm happy with third. I was expecting to get like 5th because I knew the Lambos were strong here and I thought I was going to have to pit. So, I'm happy with third. I'm happy that I finished way ahead of GG. That means I'm going to get good cushion in points. So, no, I'm actually really happy with that race.
You know, we were talking about early in the race. GG had an early incident off of the first turn, which set him back all the way back to 15th. And,
he did a GG.
Well, he ended up falling way back to the last position, had to fight his way back up. He managed to finish 8th, which was actually 1 position short of where he started. So I'm sure that definitely makes you a little happy knowing that he wasn't able to capitalize on points this week. But you know, good thing we didn't run a lap 28 there at the end, and was probably very fortunate enough to finish on fuel with, you know, right as you were finishing the last turn. So you know, you tried to. Looked like you tried to throw the block there on Zombie at the end. Did you think you could kind of like nudge him to where he could push you a little bit, or just like, hey,
I wasn't trying to block him. I was. I was
staring
at my fuel gauge.
Well, you know, with a third place finish, you know, especially in the field of Lambos as strong as they were this week, you know, you took the challenge with the M3, and you were able to show everybody that the M3 could have made it with the way the setup was here tonight. So, like you said, you know, it's a good way to finish and good cushion for you in the points thing. So, as you go into next week, I believe next week's Watkins Glen, looking to bounce back a little bit, even though it was a good night for you here tonight.
What that means, Brandon?
Yeah.
So congratulations, Serby, on a good run and way to manage out the final couple of trips you had on fuel there at the end. So congratulations. As next week comes, we'll see you bounce back. But Buku, the man of the hour, the newest winner in the MEA GT Championship Series. You know, you got to watch Bobberts take out Zombie there on what was like lap 2. When that happened. Well, you know, when that happened, what was your first thought, and then what was your next thought as soon as Serby passed you up, and as he was progressing throughout the end of the race, what did you really think? You're like, wow, he's going to actually make it on fuel and tire wear, or were you just like, hey, I'm going to get him here with 1 lap to go, where you basically passed him, but he kind of had to let it off a lead?
Well, when Bobberts hit Zombie, it was a really oh crap moment, because I thought they might have had damage, and I knew that those were my 2 partners that I practiced with. So I was really nervous there, but then I told them once they started going again just to keep their head straight and keep on going. And then I knew I just needed to save from there. Once Serby passed me, I let him go on the straight because I knew he was faster than me. And then after that, I just started saving. And then once Serby started pulling away, he started coming back again, pulling away, coming back. So I knew he was trying to conserve as best as he could. So I just tried to stay with him as best as I could, and eventually it paid off.
And, you know, your first win of the series, you know, you started about halfway through the season. This got to be, you know, really, you have to be really happy about that.
Yeah, this is amazing, honestly. It's just, it's
And,
so nice to just see the, all the practice and stuff just pay off. I mean, Nick was my partner for practice, and we kept on going and kept on going, and it paid off.
We did at least 5 hours of practice.
Well, things always seem to work out in different favors, and this was a very wild finish. Serby running out of fuel, Bobbert's running out of tire wear, wondering how everybody was going to pan out. So this is a big week for you, because congratulations on your first victory of the season, and hopefully we might see you back here in Victory Lane once again. So congratulations to everybody here, and for the rest of you that have been watching here tonight, whether you're on YouTube, Mixer, or whatever it may have been, thank you for staying with us all season long, and it's been a really fun ride as we go into Watkins Glen next week for week number 8, and then following that will be Laguna Seca week number 9, then finishing out the season at Road Atlanta week number 10. I'm SSR Mayhem from the Drivers to the Commentary booth. We all wish you a farewell and a good night, and tune in this week as the LCM Cup goes back in action at Nürburgring, the full circuit. So we'll see how that goes as those drivers prepare for their race. Thank you all, and have a